A while ago, Epic Games sent out a survey to players of Fortnite at random, and it mentioned some very interesting things in it, some of which we already talked about before, such as a potential sports mode coming to Fortnite in the near future, most likely being a basketball mode that was scrapped in the past. However, one of the sections of the survey was very interesting because it talks about first person and more specifically ballistic mode. Now, as you guys know, ballistic mode is kind of like the Counter-Strike game mode in Fortnite, Counter-Strike Valorant-esque without like the hero shooter aspect. You kind of have it with like flex gadgets and stuff like that, but it isn't really as hero shootery as normal, but they do have it and it's available in the game, and one of the core focuses on it is the first person aspect. It is like one of the first modes ever released officially by Epic Games that is a first person focused mode where you're able to actually go around, see all your guns in first person, reload, do all these type of crazy stuff without seeing the third person view you see right here, except for like when I aim in with this gun. And it appears like they want to improve that in the near future and actually expand upon the first person aspect. Because a recent survey asked what people think would be a cool addition to the game, what would be a focus that should happen, and these questions were as follows. Should there be a first-person mode on a reload map? Should there be a battle royale mode on a ballistic map? Should ballistic have a similar weapon loot pool to battle royale? Should there be a horde rush game mode on the ballistic map? Should ballistic have a similar map to the battle royale? Should there be more maps for ballistic in general? Should there be a first-person mode on the battle royale map? Do they want features in ballistic that don't exist in battle royale, so more unique ballistic exclusive features? And do you like that ballistic has a different gameplay mechanic system than battle royale? Now, while there are a lot of questions you can actually focus on here and different topics and everything, the one I want to focus on is game mode specific things. So firstly, there's the whole entire should there be a battle royale mode that is in first person. I think that could be a very interesting concept, especially if you bundle it in with the whole entire reload aspect. Imagine if maybe it's an LTM, or maybe it's an actual option or a selector or something where you could choose to either play third person battle royale once the feature is actually fully implemented, or you can go ahead and have a first person battle royale aesthetic. It would literally be taken from PUBG's playbook, where not only do you have squad sizes of solos, duos, and trios, but you also have the option to choose between first person locking or third person included in that whole entire system. And I mean, imagine if they have that whole entire system in place, so if you're someone who wanted to go ahead and play the game, but you wanted to lock yourself into first person for an added challenge, that would be a benefit for you. Now, one way I could see them make this play a little bit differently without, crowding up and making a million more servers in different game modes, is to make it so that if you choose first person locking, everyone else could still do third person if they chose that, but you yourself would be getting the added challenge. So it's not like you're going to be playing a game where everyone in the lobby is in first person. It could be a thing where only people who have that added difficulty selected enabled would have that actual challenge presented to them. It would just be one way to kind of, balance all the different game modes and everything without splitting the player base too off, like crazily, while still giving the option for first person or third person. However, the thing I want to focus on more is them mentioning that there should be a horde rush game mode on a ballistic map. This one I think is definitely interesting, and the way I thought about it wasn't like, oh, horde rush is being ported over to like the Skyline 10 map or whatever the map in ballistic is actually called right now, but instead I thought about the ballistic mechanics. So first person shooter type of mode with the whole entire horde rush aesthetic, basically replicating what you would get from Call of Duty Zombies. Imagine it, you had a point system, you had parts of the map that were actually blocked off, you would actually have to be able to spend your points by eliminating zombies or hordes of little denizens, whatever they call it, like the ice fiends, yeah, that's what they call it, fiends, and in order to gain points, in order to open up all these doors and stuff, they could replicate what already exists in Call of Duty and just kind of improve on it and make it a little bit better, but this time around, make it on maps that we're already familiar with. Now, of course, when it came to Call of Duty Zombies, one of the things is they started expanding the maps over time to add more lore, make it a little bit deeper, and having massive maps with a lot of corridors and stuff. However, I feel like Call of Duty and Fortnite could differ in a certain way by having Fortnite kind of go back to those roots when it comes to having this whole entire ballistic map aspect on a horde rush setting, where it could be a small box map type of thing. There's some things that open up here and there, maybe there's some wall buys, or maybe there's like a mystery box or something that allows you to actually purchase and upgrade yourself in zombies. Maybe you go in with a certain loadout or something, I don't really know, but I could see ways for them to make it similar to Call of Duty Zombies on these ballistic maps, have it really small with a little bit of a challenge for you, because of course you're going to be in first person, you won't have like the third person aspect that exists in like Black Ops 6 or anything, and it would just be a unique way to kind of evolve that first person mode setting, use a map that already exists for one game mode and convert it into something that exists for another game mode, and keep the game growing with new game modes every single year. And it's something that I thought was a very interesting idea for them to already be thinking about. It's like they just released Ballistic recently, and we do know that new modes are already being worked on behind the scenes for Ballistic mode, but considering the fact that they're specifically zoning in on Horde Rush using Ballistic maps, it makes me wonder if maybe they are trying to go for that throne of Call of Duty Zombies and make their own version of zombies in Fortnite for you to actually enjoy. And honestly, I'm completely down for it, right? I love Call of Duty Zombies. I feel like recently it's kind of been in an iffy spot, but I would so be down for Fortnite's take on the zombie system, especially if it's like a round-based zombie system with door buys and all that type of stuff, a way for you to improve over time, and kind of have a leaderboard system where you can figure out who's the best and worst on your friends list. But of course, when it comes to any of this information, this is just in a survey, so it doesn't guarantee that we will be seeing it anytime soon. It could be years away in the future. There's a chance that they just never end up making it in general based on the survey feedback. So if enough people are like, I don't really care about that one, they might not just work on it in general. It might just be a scrapped idea, but it is still something cool to speculate on and kind of talk about, because they are the ones who made the survey, and they're the ones who at least had the idea at some point to maybe bring Horde Rush and Ballistic and combine the two together to make a new version of Horde Rush that is going to be more streamlined and more kind of like accessible as a funner game mode that could become a permanent thing in the future. And it's like they wouldn't even have to call it zombies or anything, right? They literally already have the mode that exists. Horde Rush. Maybe they can make it round-based Horde Rush or something. I don't know how you would change the name if it's not really focused so much on a rush of zombies. Well, actually, I guess kind of is just a rush of hordes of fiends coming towards you or whatever. But there's a lot of ways they could take what they already have working and just rename it to make it their own little zombies experience. And I mean, I'm going to be honest here, I played some zombie remakes, that have the Call of Duty aspect in Fortnite before through UEFN and everything. The work is there. They could do it, and they could make a very solid system, make some quest word or something like that. So hopefully we see that later down the line. And honestly, I would buy more weapon wraps and stuff for that, because I haven't really touched Ballistic at all, but I would 100% touch a zombies mode. With that said, however, we obviously might not see this in the future. We might see it in the future, but it is still interesting to talk about and see in the survey. So until next time, I hope champs and champions enjoyed today's YouTube video. Like the video if you liked it, dislike if you didn't like it, and until next time, peace out.